And the tennis court is no stranger to dummy spits and outbursts, but we haven't seen one like this for a long time. World number one Novak Djokovic was playing against Spain's Pablo Carreno at the US Open in Flushing Meadows. At one point, he clearly didn't like how the game was going and lashed out, hitting a ball into the side of the court. The only problem, a lineswoman took the hit. Have a look. Now look, while it wasn't his fastest serve ever, and he clearly didn't mean to hit the official, it was still a direct hit. The woman was taken from court but didn't need hospital treatment. In line with the rules, Djokovic was defaulted and is now out of the US Open. He did plead to other officials to allow him to stay, but those pleas fell on deaf ears. Robbo, does the punishment fit the crime here?
I don't think it really does. Obviously it's a pretty tough thing to be hit in the throat by a tennis ball. It was not intentional. It wasn't meant to happen like that. It almost reminded me, and hey, we're here for our opinions. It almost reminded me of, when soccer players kind of get tapped and then go, oh my God, oh no. And, fall to the ground. She didn't need any massive kind of medical treatment. She was fine. He obviously ran over straight away. He didn't mean to do it. But what I will say really quickly is we've got a picture of the reaction. And what I'll say is that it's very great. It's great news to see Jessica Rowe getting some work after television there as a Lions person at the US Open there. Wonderful to see her back. Sorry that happened to her with that tennis, but we wish her all the best.
Thankfully, we've already ticked her off the list of guests we've had on the show so that she doesn't see that and turn us down. We're like, okay, we've locked Jessica Rowe away. We can make fun of her.
No, you know what? The one thing I will say about Jess is she is always up for a laugh. She would have enjoyed that joke. She actually would have. I've got to say, Djokovic was asked about the incident during a post-match press conference, and he wasn't too thrilled to be asked about it. Have a look at this.
When you threw the racket, does it concern you that one day that could cost you dearly? I mean, if the ball were to hit someone today, is that something you think you ought to address?
You guys are unbelievable.
Why is it unbelievable?
Yeah, because you're always picking this kind of things. It's incredible.
You keep doing these things.
I keep doing these things well. Why don't I get suspended then?
I'm saying you were close, weren't you? That's what I'm saying.
I'm close. I'm still not suspended, so if I'm not close, I'm not close.
If that ball had hit a spectator, it could have been serious.
It could have been, sure. Or it could have snowed. It could have been snow in O2 Arena today, but it didn't.
So you don't think that gives you're not concerned about your mindset?
So I'm the only player that shows his frustration on the court, right? That's what you want to say. I'm the only player that is showing that.
No, you
that
are
is
doing that, though.
Sorry?
You're one of the top-ranked players in the world.
So
you are showing this frustration. I'm asking you, do you think it's an issue for you?
It is not an issue for me. It's not the first time that I did it.
Oh, no. Right. Next question, please. All right, Serbian questions up here. Thank you.
Has that changed your mind, Robbo?
No, it hasn't. Look, it might surprise both of you. I'm not a sports person and I haven't been for a long time. I haven't played competitive tennis for years. But tennis is very much... It's a mental sport. And I didn't know this until a few years ago when I was speaking to someone, I think during my time at Studio 10. And it is such a mental sport. It's not just about hitting the racket. You can sometimes be out there for hours and hours and hours until the game finishes.
But there have to be rules. Ben, don't they
I'm not saying that, but Djokovic is not the first person to chuck a dummy spit or a tantrum on the court.
No.
I don't think that he should have been defaulted from the US Open for this. It was it certainly wasn't an angry throw. He didn't smash a racket. She just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was not intentional. I don't agree with it.
Robbo, Ben, I want to bring you in because the rules are very simple. If you strike a ball person, you're out. The fact is that those ball people should feel safe on the court. It's one thing when the ball's in play. The ball wasn't in play. This wasn't in the middle of a serving match, but they're concentrating on their line. They're not looking at everything going on. They've got to trust the tennis players not to be whacking balls all over the place.
Yeah, I guess so. I think two things are at play, for sports people, and that is there's a culmination of arrogance that they have, and also the pressures that they're under as well. And I think that sometimes fizzles to the top and we see bad behavior that some sports people's careers can live and die by. So that might have been just a small thing that he did, but at the end of the day, he will need to be accountable for this, and sports stars do need to be accountable for bad behavior when they're on the field. That's just how I feel about it. I think I was raised by someone who, when they'd have sometimes an angry moment, they would throw things, and those moments, I'm going to say, stay with you. It's bad behavior, and I don't mean to throw either of my parents under the bus, so I'll leave that to which one you would believe that to be. But I would say that, we have to be accountable for those moments, regardless as to whether or not there was any intent there. There was absolutely no reason for him to hit the ball like that, and I think he needs to sit this year out. I don't think his career should be over, though.
Oh, no, and it's not. But also the audacity for him not to expect journalists to ask about that. Of course they were going to ask about that. To think otherwise is just either stupid or completely arrogant.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show. Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.